Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we're flying the Cirrus SR22 from Arctic Village, Alaska, over to Anaktuvuk Pass, Alaska. I've got it 16,000 feet. That may change. I'll explain. Let's see, 46-minute flight, 138 miles. Okay. Everything looks like it checks out. Climb aboard, let's go flying. I got a messy start to that one. I completely botched the beginning when I ran this the first time. This is my second take on this. Completely messed it up. I mean, 120% butchered it. And I had to restart. And then even then, I get a sloppy intro. Whoa! Oh, that's... wow. That's like the glow of sunset. Ladies and gentlemen, we may be in for a treat today. This looks pretty. While the loading screen was kind of spinning around showing some pretty views and stuff, I actually had to configure a couple settings. Alright. We are on the ground. Let's turn the battery switches on. CDI to GPS, initialize that. Let's get our FLC and everything set up. 110 knots. Our altitude, I said 16,000. Whoa! Up to 17. There we go. That may change. We may end up going up to 20,000 feet. But we'll see. Ouch. Alright. Cycle the mixture. Sure, that's good. Boost pump on. Strobe lights. Magnetos to both. Clear left, clear right. Engage the starter. Clear! Alright, engine is started. Oil pressure is top of the green. Temperature's beginning to rise. Alternator switch is on. Battery amperage is looking good. Nav light, landing light. Yeah, we can see a bit better now. Pitot heat, and we do need to pay attention to icing just because it's snowing. But this actually doesn't look too bad on the ground. But once we get airborne, we'll need to pay attention to that. Let's just do a run up here, right on, right where we're at. So let's go ahead, throttle up. Looking for 1700 RPM. Oil pressure just got a little bit high. It says it warms up, that'll improve. Check the right mag is good. Back to both. Left mag is good. Back to both. Oil pressure, we mentioned that. Otherwise, everything's in the green. No warnings, indicators, and stuff. Of course, as the oil pressure. As the oil temperature warms up, the pressure will drop, and in fact, it actually just cleared there. We're looking good. Let's go ahead and set the flaps to half. Outside, flaps are confirmed half both sides. Rudder is good. Elevators are good. Ailerons are good. Back into the cockpit. Flight controls are all looking good. De-icing. Carrying 2 hours worth of normal and an hour worth at high. Looks good. Power back to idle. Let's release the park and brake and get going. As we start moving, let's actually just grab the weather here at Arctic Village real fast. 5 miles visibility, light snow, mist. Clouds at 3,500 and they're overcast. Temperature is -11. That's 12 Fahrenheit above zero. And the altimeter 2945, that is pretty low. Not quite like yesterday. It was 2925 yesterday. I don't remember what it gave us for the wind. Let's actually get back in here and look real quick. 050 at 4. Really doesn't matter either direction we go. Let's get back to this here. Oh, avionics on. Can't forget that. Zoom in on the map here and see. Alright, so we actually need to turn around the other way. Did we not loop around enough the first time? Yeah, I see it. I see it now. That's a little bit vague. Look at the mountains out there. Whoa. Yeah, we're right on the edge of the gravel here. If we were to go through the snow, probably no big deal. Whatever. Yeah, but ever just a bare trace of mountains. It's getting dark here. It's not even 4 in the afternoon Alaska time, and it's already dark like this. Now, to be fair, I'm sure a big part of that is because of the snow. And yeah, there's the wind cones, so we're going to take a left turn and back taxi a bit. Whoa. We have lights, that's nice. Let's throttle up, get rolling a little bit here. Going a little fast. This is an airport I really hope gets reworked in Flight Sim 24. It's a really pretty area. And the same with Anaktuvuk Pass. We head over that way. There's 2 airports very far north in the state. Very remote villages. Alright, we can turn. Alright. We're lined up. Let's hold the brakes. All forward on the control, or on the throttle there. Engine instruments are all in the green. Everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and release the brakes. We're looking for 77 knots. Airspeed's alive. There's 77. And there we are, airborne. Flaps up, positive rate. Let's climb up, and we are going to go ahead and turn on the de-icing. I didn't look at the instrument approach procedures. I mean, it's technically VFR, but this is not very good VFR weather. So we're just going to climb until we get up to... airport elevation was about 2100, so really 2900. We could do it now. Just turn on course, but I'm going to climb a little bit more. We're climbing right at VY, which is best rate of climb. And we can actually go ahead and begin a turn. And I'm watching carefully where we're at, making sure we have terrain clearance, which we do. We've got plenty of it. I don't think I've really done a night flight up here in Alaska. This isn't per se night. I mean, it might be that by the time we get to Anaktuvuk Pass. But in reality, it's twilight. I mean, I'm pretty sure over here it's after sunset, and in Anaktuvuk Pass, it's probably pretty much about sunset now, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. We're just trusting our instruments here. Now, we would do a published instrument departure procedure. Technically it's VFR, but not very good VFR. So we would go on an instrument departure procedure. In this though, if you kind of know the area, you know the way you're playing, handles and everything like that, you're probably fine. Let me go ahead and bring up the flight display. Alright, there we go. And just take a quick look out here. Can probably turn the landing light off in a moment. We are getting some ice. It's not terrible. Let's go ahead and engage the autopilot now. I think is a good time.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright. Couple things. Lean the mixture down to the bottom of the green. It's good there. You can turn the landing light off. It's kind of just glowing in. And now we're breaking out on top. Did we not engage? There. Yeah. There we go. We'll turn VNav on. That's not important right now. We'll need VNav more for when we descend, but that's why I usually try to use checklists, and you get accustomed, and you, it's like, oh yeah, well I'm used to doing this all the time, but then you forget one little thing like that. Let's go ahead and de-ice the windshield. Pump is on at normal. Ooh, take a look at that. Wow. Oh, that is pretty. That's pretty out that way, too. Let's just check the wings real quick. Wings are clear. Windshield did have a trace of ice on it. Yeah, you can see them. Kind of right up in here and stuff like that. Be going through some more clouds here in a moment. Hey Maria, thanks. Have a good flight and landing tonight. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Always glad to have you. Let's go ahead and turn the cabin heat on. That'll kind of help with that. But this is absolutely beautiful. Can zoom out on that. There's really not going to be much to see on the ground along the way. Our route today, here's Arctic Village, and we are going right up over the Brooks Range Mountains. And here's Anaktuvuk Pass. It's basically straight west. They're pretty much at the same latitude, I believe, like within a minute. Exit icing out, we just cycle that. Yeah, so you can look and see, and they are basically right in line with each other on the line of latitude. Galbraith Lake is up here. Of course, we took off from there a few days ago. South of Arctic Village is Fort Yukon, south of Anaktuvuk Pass is Bettles and Prospect Creek, and then Chandeleur Lake in the middle. We're probably not going to be able to see much of that stuff, given the cloud cover and the fact that it is, that it's getting dark. The good news is, while we do have some breaks in the clouds, you can see the mountains down below, and you're going to get an absolutely beautiful view of the sky. And here's where I'm debating if I want to go up to 20,000 feet instead of 16, and we can't go to 18. The reason for that is when the altimeter is this low, 18,000 feet is not a usable cruise altitude. So we either have to go at 16, or we'd have to go at 20, given that we're going westbound. It's a little easier if you're going eastbound, because you could just, you'd have to go either 17 or 19. But headed westbound, we have to pick between 16,000 or 20,000, and there's a considerable amount of difference in performance. Alright, for now we're leveling off at 16,000. I'll take a look and see if we want to go to... Now, it's a 2-minute difference. It's 2 minutes slower en route. We're going to stay at 16,000. And I bet you if we go up to 20, we'd be in these clouds. Maybe not, but... yes, I'm content with staying at 16. We have a 4-knot tail, or a headwind. That's not bad. The wind would shift, but you'd lose time climbing, going at a slower ground speed and stuff like that, so not really worth it. Gonna go ahead and pull back on the power. We're looking for 30.5 on the manifold pressure. My 30.7, that's a little high. We lean out for peak power. Right at 20 gallons per hour. I have found that generally to be the sweet spot, right when we're around 30 inches of manifold pressure for our cruise. Now, if you reduce the power, because you can always cruise at a lower percentage for a more efficient cruise, so you don't burn as much fuel. And that would be something that you would particularly take advantage of if you have a really strong headwind, or tailwind rather. And you can just kind of plan for your ground speed that way. Yeah, we're doing pretty good right here, though. 160, we're doing exactly 200 over the ground, 202 true. It's really about a 2-knot headwind. 2 to 3. It's kind of jumping 3 to 4 here. Take a look out that direction there. Kind of see just the trace of the last bit of sun, and up that direction you can see kind of the shadow of the Earth. Exit icing. Yeah, I think we can turn it off, actually, for now. Whoops. Wrong switch. There we go. Since it looks like we're going to be below these clouds, we're in clear air. Don't have to worry about flying in visible moisture right now. So yeah, we can have the de-icing off. We should be all good. Alright. I caught myself earlier today, and, just had to quickly rebandage it. But yeah, we're looking pretty good. That power is actually, stable right at 30.7. And that little bit of a headwind is turning more into a crosswind, so our ground speed and true airspeed are basically equal. Kind of fluttering between equal and a 1 knot difference. So, not much to it right there. If you look up that direction, you might actually be able to see the tundra. Oh, well, look at that. So look up this direction here, and the Brooks Range will... you can't really... Oh, you can over here, okay. The mountain range kind of gives way to the tundra, the north slope. Back out that way, the mountains. Just continue to run further north. And if you look out this direction, south of Arctic Village, it flattens out into the, kind of the Yukon River flats. I might be wrong. The sun may still be up out over this way. No more mountains out that way. That might be the White Mountain Range that separates the Yukon and Tanana rivers. It may not be. Yeah. I think that might be these down here, actually. Kind of the angle that we're looking at. You look out that direction. Yeah, you can't see them. The White Mountains would be out this way. Flying right over the Brooks Range here. I mean, right over top of it. Let me pull that map back up. There's a lake that I don't know, Chandeleur Lake, and then there's two others here. Yeah, I think we're going to be a bit too far north to really get a good view of them, especially with the scattered clouds there. Cloud cover does look like it clears up somewhat as we head toward Anaktuvuk Pass. And if you look behind, it looks like it thickens up, so yeah. Just a very soft orange glow. Kind of tough to tell exactly where the sun is currently. So you kind of got the glow here, but it's hard to tell where exactly on the relative to the horizon it is. I'll go back into the cockpit. Take a look. Fuel imbalance. Did I forget to switch that? Yes, I did. Oh, well. Tank. Switch. I always forget once we level off. Hopefully that'll clear in just a moment. Oh, look at that. Clouds are giving way so you can see the mountains more over here. Minus 27 up here at cruise altitude. That is minus 17 Fahrenheit. It's fairly chilly. I'll give it a month or so and it'll be that cold on the ground. It actually may have reached that cold on the ground this far north already. Oh, it has taken a couple minutes for that fuel imbalance to clear. Ah, oh well. I forget that way too frequently. In fact, now I'm kind of curious. Let's see. There, the fuel balance clears. Alright, let's take a look here. Well, according to this a week ago, the temperature was minus 1 Fahrenheit, so minus 19 Celsius for the high temperature. And the coldest was also that day at minus 19 Fahrenheit, which is minus 29 Celsius. Minus 28, minus 29, I think. Had a lot of really warm days this summer up there too. I remember doing a couple flights and it was over plus 20. And the temperatures have been pretty similar over in Anaktuvuk Pass. We're coming up pretty close to halfway. Not quite, but just about. And if we take a look, Chandeleur Lake might be pretty much right off our left wing. I bet you we're not going to be able to... Probably not going to be able to see it. Oh, actually, yeah, you can. It's right there. Here it is, right here. You can see part of it. And then it curves back that way. But that's it right there, and then there's the airport. And that strip right there. Well, that's definitely it. I'm surprised you could actually see it this far up. This far north of it, I should say. But yeah, well, that's cool. Galbraith Lake would be up this way. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see it right now. But yeah, you can see the mountains are giving way more to tundra up here. And then back that way is where the mountains kind of curve forward. Further north. So you can see Arctic Village sits kind of more toward the south side of them as they curve up this way. And then as you go along, it gives way to the tundra, and they kind of run further that way. Almost like a kind of a gradual S-curve. Yeah, really pretty area though. Some of the best scenery in Alaska, and there's a lot of good scenery, but some of the best scenery in the state, in my opinion, is up here. And you take a look. Clouds are starting to kind of thin out. There's the Big Dipper. Kind of all right there. And is that the Little Dipper right there, I think? No. No, I don't think that is. I'm not sure that that's right there. I'm looking. No, I don't. It's pretty neat though how well they replicate the stars in the sky and stuff like that. Really remarkable. Alright, there we are halfway, actually a tiny bit past it now. And showing about 20 minutes, and it's going to be about a 14-minute out descent. So we'll be at cruise here for a little bit longer. Yeah, and you can... Ooh, look at that. Look at that cloud there. It's kind of got that... almost like that blood red color down at the bottom. This is gorgeous. That is absolutely beautiful. And we take a look back in the cockpit. Let's get the weather for Anaktuvuk Pass. Now that we're beyond the halfway point, we'll actually get the altimeter setting and set that. What? Not available. Okay. The way around that is to pull the airport up on the map. Alright, 040, no. Sorry, that's the time. 020 at 3. 10 miles visibility, clear skies, minus 17, 29.45, so that's actually the same. Okay. So we don't have to change the altimeter. So you did update. It should have updated over at Arctic Village. Let's see if it's improved. Might have gotten worse. It's about the same. So yeah, coming into Anaktuvuk Pass should be a bit better. Clear skies, and that's at least below 12,000 feet. There might be some high clouds, but that's not going to make much of a difference. We'll have an easier time getting in. And the wind does just a little bit favor the north. We could go either direction, in reality. Let me just pull the map back up again and zoom in. So the runway goes kind of like this here. So, when we descend, you can fly through this valley, turn to the south. If we go to the north, we're going to have to kind of get routed around all of these. So I think I'm actually going to set up for a south landing. So let's go in here, procedures. They have the RNAV GPS-A. We're going to set up the visual 20. We'll take a look. What does it have us doing on the map? It's kind of got that wonky curve. We're going to set the fix to here. We may be able to descend on top of these mountains and just kind of cut the power. But we'll play that by ear. We'll set a GPS course to that fix. It's going to have us do a slight turn. And top of descent in a few miles. Let's just go ahead and set... What is the safe altitude? Let me check the chart for that. Um, 8,000 is the lowest that we want to go right now. Not a real big fan of scrolling with this, because just look at how much it jumps all over the place. A lot of other planes, what they have, they'll have two separate wheels for this altitude select. It'll let you choose within 100, and then the bigger one will let you step it down by 1,000. Because this one just changes kind of arbitrarily, depending on how much or how fast you spin it. And it's very easy to get the altitude wrong when you're using this one. Alright, Galbraith Lake is going to be right off our right wing. We might get a view of it here. There it is, right there. This is the actual lake, and there's the airport right there. You can actually see the lights. Yeah, all the tundra right out that way. We go up that way. This is the Dalton Highway right here, and you can see the highway is lit up. That's kind of cool. You've got the river, and the pipeline, and the highway. And we may have just... This is it right here. Yeah, this is Anaktuvuk Pass. Famous part of the Dalton Highway that comes up through here. That's actually really neat. I've not seen this view like that of the highway. Now, of course, the road's lit up with streetlights. I don't think they have any streetlights along here. If they do, they're extremely sparse. But yeah, I mean, just take a look. Runs out down that way. There's a couple other airports. Chandler Shelf, somewhere over here, I believe. Wiseman, eventually you're going to reach Coldfoot. And then Prospect Creek, which we've talked about. I think we flew into or out of Prospect Creek a few days ago. Or all along the highway here. But right there is Adigan Pass. And that's neat, because you don't usually get to see a good view of that. It looks like the clouds are starting to actually show back up. There's some really nice clearing over here. Alright. And, yep, we've started our descent. Let's go ahead and pull the power back a little bit here. They're right there, about 37% is usually a pretty good number. Now we're gonna stay 8,000 feet is as low as we're gonna go for now, until we get some find a good clearing that would allow us to descend further. So yeah, here's the Big Dipper. So yeah, this is the Big Dipper right here. And the Little Dipper should be so yeah, you follow these two stars. It's just a little bit tough to it's tougher to see, because number one, it's smaller. It's also not quite as bright. But, oh, you know what? I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. Right here. And that's the North Star. Polaris. Yeah, so there's our little astronomy lesson. Kenny Kong, welcome. This is the Cirrus SR22 Turbo. And yeah, these clouds are getting lower over the mountaintops here. Wind's kind of shifted to a little bit of a tailwind. It's just really 1 to 2 knots. It's nothing significant. Minus 21 Celsius here. Yeah, we're gonna be going through those clouds, so we'll actually need to kick our de-icing on before we get into them. Let's zoom in on the map here a little bit. Terrain will start showing up here, just the mountain peaks. So everything in black, I've covered this, it's been a while. But here, everything in black, we have 2,000 feet of terrain clearance above. When you start seeing green, you are between 1 and 2,000 feet above it. When you see yellow, you're less than 1,000 feet above it. And when you see red, you're below it. Or actually, I think it's 100 feet. So we'll be paying attention for green and then ultimately yellow to start showing up on the map. Yeah. Clouds are kind of starting to muddy up the view a bit. And yeah, that's gonna be about the last trace of sunset that we're gonna see, unless it does clear up over at Anaktuvuk. Alright. De-ice on. That should be fine on normal for now. If for any reason we need to, we'll turn it to high, but normal should be okay. We'll just watch for any traces of ice that we pick up on the windshield. There's a little bit right there. Main thing is the wings. Wings look clear for now. We may start. Meant to zoom in, not out. Let's just make sure no weather updates. So if the weather is deteriorating, they should give a weather update to indicate so. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, that sucks. I thought we were gonna have a nice easy. 010 at 4. We can still go ahead and land to the south. 10 miles visibility, broken at 2,900. And that's above airport elevation. So as long as we can see the airport, descend to 5,000 feet and see the airport, we should be okay. Broken at 12,000 again. That's kind of what we were just going through a couple minutes ago. Extends out further that way. Minus 17, so the temperature is dropping. Actually, minus 16 up here in the air right now. So that means probably a temperature inversion. Yeah, we start seeing these specks of green. Let's zoom in a little more, and we're kind of just going to need to kind of maneuver around some of these. Now, if we can get out further up toward that lake here, there's really nothing above 5,000 feet, but still further down here there are some mountains that reach up over 6,000. We kind of have to be careful for. Once we level off at 8,000, we can adjust down to 7, and we can just hold. As long as nothing yellow comes up over our flight path right now, we should be okay. And we should be okay going over that. Now we're kinda going VFR. I mean, even though we did basically IFR out of Arctic Village, and we're going at an IFR altitude, but we can see the terrain, we can see and avoid it, as long as we have 500 feet clearance, which we do not have over there, but we do over what we're directly above. Right there's a peak that's higher than us. Right over this ridge right here, we'll have 1,000 feet since we're going in the green. Yeah, we're coming up right over this here, is in the yellow. We're good, we've got 500 feet. Now, IFR, if we were doing like true IFR, they'd keep us above that, they'd be vectoring us somewhere really high up. They'd be taking us far out, set up for a straight in, somewhere into Anaktuvuk Pass. We're only about 5 minutes away. At 2.5 on the map, we can zoom out a little bit. Out over there, there's clearing, it looks like. It kind of is a valley for us to follow. Oh, yeah, that's the Anaktuvuk River. That's exactly what that is. So if we wanted to cut down this way, this is where the river runs. Heck, you zoom in, you can't even see the river, but there's this kind of little bit of a greenish area. And that's where the river runs. So we'd be able to get safely through that. We're still flying over some of these. We're going to vector ourselves out a little bit here. Now we've got this another bit to pass over. Turn the de-icing off, I think we're fine. Oh, here it is. Whoops. Alright, yeah, tell you what, let's set the heading bug and we're gonna get ourselves kind of set up over some of this clearing. While maintaining our 500-foot clearance above these mountain ranges, which we're doing fine. Let's turn the heading select on and we can basically go visual. This is the river. The Anaktuvuk River runs north up into the tundra. Get ourselves kind of started down on the descent here. I see the airport. You know what? We can go visual. Disengage the autopilot. Alright. Yeah, let's go visual. We've got... Alright. Final things, boost pump on. Bump the mixture, just make sure we're at the bottom. Nope, we're below the bottom of the green, so we actually do need to enrich in it. That's good there. Take a little bit of power out. Landing light on. We don't have any ice to worry about at the moment. So yeah, in visual conditions, we can get lower. Long as we have our 500 foot above unpopulated areas. Generally is a little bit better to be a little more conservative with that and stay 1,000 feet, but if we need to get down to 500 feet, we can do so. Let's go half flaps. When we get to 110, we'll go full flaps, and we are very high just because we kind of had to maintain some altitude there. So what we can do is idle power. We just need to watch our cylinder head temps. We don't want them below 240. I mean, if they go to 238, that's not going to be a big problem. But if they drop really low, then that's not good. And generally, you just do that by kind of pushing some engine power like that. Alright, let's level off, try to get down to 110. And if for any reason we deem it necessary, we can actually just enter a traffic pattern and circle over for runway 2. Right now we're lined up for runway 20. I was trying to remember. I was like, is it 4? No, it's 2. Really cool view. You can actually see the village of Anaktuvuk Pass lit up. Sits right up here, kind of northwest of the runway. Alright, let's try to trim the plane out a little bit more. And we're just gonna follow the VASI, or the PAPI rather. We got 4 white, so we're plenty high. We're dropping altitude at a pretty good rate. We're nice and slow. The other thing we can do is just slip it, which is kind of a little bit of a cross control like that. Rudder, opposite aileron, and I'll level it out, and you see how our descent rate keeps going steeper, but we're not gaining any airspeed. And that's a maneuver that we can do. Kind of get back on course there. Now we have 3 red, or 3 white, 1 red. We're looking for 2 and 2. When we do that, we'll take it out. There we are. Let's fly that nice final approach coming in. This is looking really good. Now we're actually a tiny bit low. We're just paying attention to the purple diamond on our tracker. So what we're going to do is just level off. We'll add a little bit of power. And once that diamond crosses that line, yep, there we are. We're right on track. A little slow. And just look at that view right there. Kind of as the
500
remnants of the sunset are kind of making the sky glow over there. Yeah, we're still a little bit slow. That'd be about 80 knots. 77's doable. Actually getting a little high now. Take some power out. Let's bring it right back down to the ground. Nice and gentle. Got about a mile to go. Here's the village. Gonna get a really nice view of that right here. And we've got about 200 feet to go. We're looking really good. We're looking good. A little bit of a tailwind. We've got plenty of runway to work with. This is looking good. Take a look at the village. That's pretty right there. Alright, little low. Of course, that's what I get for that. We're kind of floating just a little bit there. The tailwind's kind of pushing us. Just go nice and easy. Minus 91. Not bad. And one thing that you'll notice too with this, the surface is very uneven in elevation. And that makes it tough a little bit. Started to drift there when I was looking over at the town like that. And then you look back and it's like, oh, you realize you drifted a little bit. And I could take a look and see that the wind had actually turned to a little bit of a quartering tailwind. And the thing about a tailwind is your airspeed is lower, but your ground speed is higher. Because it's pushing you along the ground. But your airspeed is lower and you don't have that wind kind of helping give you that little extra bit of airspeed, that lift that you need there to get real slow. But that was decent. Or just a tiny bit unstable there at the end, but I knew it was salvageable. Plenty of runway to work with here. This is a pretty easy airport to, well, actually, no, I'm not going to say that. This is not necessarily an easy airport. It's not terribly difficult because you've got plenty of runway to work with. But as I mentioned, the elevation, I mean, take a look right here. We're going uphill. So we were actually landing downhill there. And then at a point it leveled out and then it kind of started to go uphill. So there's a little bit of a dip in the middle of the runway out here. And of course you've got the mountain ridges. So all of your wind is usually pretty straight up and down, but there was that little bit of a quartering wind there. And we'll park up over here. There's a couple different places you can park here. Beautiful view right here. Look at that. Wow. You get the mountain ridge. There's a village. That's dark. I mean, it's 4 in the evening. Nope, sorry, it's almost 5 in the evening. Alaska time. There's another area to park down that road. Connects the two. Alright, let's go ahead and park here. We'll shut down. Park and brake is set. Landing light off. Pitot heat can come off. Nav lights. Avionics. Boost pump. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut the mixture. There we go, 50 minutes. Actually took just a little bit longer. And that was probably because we had to kind of fly that extended base leg further back, and then we got nice and slow. Had a long final approach in. Not bad at all, though. Engine is stopped. Clear those. Alternator switches off. Strobe lights off. And magnetos. And then last, battery switches. There we are. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this one. Welcome over to Anaktuvuk Pass. Hope you enjoyed the flight from Arctic Village. Beautiful up that way. As you see the community here, and then that big mountain ridge, just almost like a straight slope right down. And then I'm back this way. We've seen this view when we flew to Fort Yukon from here a few days ago, with the sun coming right down over these. Really pretty airport to come in and out of, though. The only thing is they need to get rid of the trees. There's no trees this far north. Other than that, though, simulator replicates it pretty nice. This is an absolutely beautiful place to fly in and out of. But that's going to do it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed, and hope to have you aboard on the next one. And as always, until then, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.